Hey, what's going on? It's Ramen On a Friday. And I got my man Dolo in the house. I got my man Kono, the iconic lip, in the house. I got my man Samurai in the house. And Pietti's here, but, we're going to have a whole different type of episode today. Introduce yourself, Dolo.
Some people in this area know me, some people might not. So my name is Dolo Moretti. I'm a hip hop artist from Baltimore. I've been doing this for about 15 years. I'm an artist, producer, entrepreneur, success enthusiast, and just somebody that likes to see people do well in life. I've been doing this for a while, and me and Dev were sitting down thinking about it the one day, and with everything going on, we've just kind of come from an interesting life with me growing up in and around the city, same with Dev, and seeing a lot of the bad sides of what we got going on right now in the world. So we thought it'd be cool to just kind of sit down and politic on it, for an episode.
We're gonna talk about what's going on today and the culture. It's definitely bothering me as to what I'm seeing right now. Shout out to all the protesters. Shout out to the good cops too, because I want to start off with that. There's good cops.
Yeah,
correct.
There's definitely good cops. I mean,
there's
it's
good
just
cops.
We're dealing with the downside of them being bad, and we're also dealing with fuck Donald Trump. I'm just gonna put that out there right quick.
Yeah, we can say that. And shout out to all the hard workers. Shout out to everybody. All right, so we're going to get straight into it, man. What have you basically seen this week? Let's start with what you've seen.
I mean, just because I'm like basically stuck at home because my day job has forced me to be stuck at home basically at this
COVID
point.
getting on my nerves.
Yeah. It's just I've been seeing, all my friends, all my family, people across the country. I've been spending a lot of time on the social medias and everything, and just, trying to really delve into and make sure that like I have the right ideas of what we got going on, besides the simple factor of what I already know from, like I said, my friends and my family and everything, and my personal feelings about the situation. And I mean, to me, it's beautiful that we've got what's going on right now, because it's necessary, man. Like, we needed to have a situation where, like, from what I'm seeing, and people can fact check me whenever you want on certain things, because like I said, I'm dealing with a lot of different angles and everything, like on social media, is that like this is like the largest protests and calls for change that we've ever had.
We definitely need
protests
change.
and
Definitely need change, but we also see you see both sides of it, because you see the side of the people that want to change everything, and then you see the side of people that are just kind of like, well, why are you guys doing that? And then you actually three sides, because then you see the people that are just involved just because.
Yeah, I mean, you got a lot of people trying to latch on and try to do this like it's a trendy thing to do, and it's not a trendy thing to do. I want to call that right now, is that if you are out here trying to do this type of shit because it's trendy and it's the cool thing to do, it's fucking not, bro. Like, you got to understand how many people's lives are affected by this. And like, I'm a white hip hop artist. I've got family that are of different colors and everything like that, and it's just like, I'm never going to fully understand exactly what everybody's going on, but the most I can do and be there to support everybody that I know, and always be as supportive as I can, is to just stop and listen and, see what, how people are really feeling. And if you are doing this just to be on Instagram and be popular, it's wrong. It's completely wrong, man.
It is. I saw a picture earlier of 3 white men doing the George Floyd challenge.
That shit's disgusting.
We've got to stop this, bro. We've got to stop it. I don't care. Even if this isn't the right time for you to speak, just don't say anything at all.
Right, dude. Just sit on the sidelines and learn. I mean, if you don't know what to say, sit back and learn. That's what you should be doing right now, to be honest,
so
from what everybody's telling me.
In my eyes, what I think we need to change as far as the system, first off, we need to pay these cops more money. Like, because I think a lot of them, some of them are causing these problems because they don't get paid enough, and then we don't do enough psychiatric evaluation. Other countries, it takes longer to become a police officer. Here, it's like giving out like candy for real to a child. It's like, okay, you only do 8 months, and we did our research and we was talking about. I remember I asked you about how long it takes to be a cop in Japan and these other countries.
And it was hard to find an answer on that, like, when we really started delving into it. What's crazy is I know you said 8 months. It actually really, if you just go to the police academy, from what I've read online, like, you only got to go to school for 8 weeks.
8 weeks.
8
okay,
weeks,
all right, 8
man.
weeks. 8 weeks.
And then they put a badge put a badge and a gun in your hand after 8 weeks, man. Like, I mean, that's crazy.
It's like, yo, and I was talking to I have a cousin that was in the Air Force, and I was talking to him about like the way the system works with them. And why don't we run our system the same way as the way the military is ran as far as the police?
See, I don't really have an answer to that one, man. You know, it's just kind of like, it's definitely, you can see that obviously when it comes to
the same amount of tax money.
Yeah.
They're using our tax money.
Well, let's be honest, they use more tax money in the military. But, you know, in the military, there's a lot more, you know, you can't just get away with stuff as easily in the military. Yeah, you can sometimes, but it's like, you still go through a lot more training in the military than they give our civilian police officers, if you're going to differentiate the two.
Well, the thing about it is, in the military, they do psychiatric evaluation. He was telling me that they do psychiatric evaluation, like, on a regular basis. Like, if something happens or there's an incident or whatever. And I don't think the police, they don't really get them psychiatric evaluations.
It doesn't seem like it, no. I mean, you're talking about, like, we're dealing with you know, what's his name? Chauvin. I don't even know how to say his name. You know, this man had 18 previous complaints. He's the one that actually had his knee on George Floyd's neck.
Okay, all right.
And he had 18 previous complaints and situations where, how do you still have a badge?
Yeah, he was on some other shit.
I don't understand, like, it seems like every time we get into these situations, and we've had so many recently that, you know, like, I've seen people basically saying, I think it was actually Will Smith that said it, that it's like, it's not like this is just starting to happen. It's now being filmed.
Yeah, of
so
course,
we're
man.
seeing more.
Me growing up, like, I guess I wouldn't say I lived in urban areas my entire life. If I just sat here and say I lived in the ghetto my entire life, that'd be bullshit. You know what I mean? But I've lived in the black community in situations where I've seen this my entire life. I've seen all different types of things. Dude, I've been in those situations.
I got pulled over when I was 18, dude, chilling with my best friend. Like, literally known this man for years. He was my best friend. And the first thing they do when they pull us out of the car is they pull me to the side and they go, "So is that your drug dealer?" And I go, "Well, nah. Are you just saying that because he's black? Because that's my best friend that you're talking about right now." And let's be honest, I don't remember the time between me saying that and my face being slammed into the hood of my car. And mind you, these two cops this happened in, 2008, 2009. These two cops had to be like 23 years old. There's no way they were that old. And they were young cops.
These young guys are being, like you said, we were talking about the bad apple. These young guys are being taken in. It's kind of like in the streets with the OG. Like, you get to the police department and I guess from what I see, they're finding out, they're trying to figure out where they fit in. And then these older guys are saying, "Hey, this is where you fit in. Shut the fuck up."
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of like they don't know where they're going or whatever it is. I don't really know, you know what I'm saying? I can't delve into that mind state because the mind state for me is I've never trusted them. So, you know, and it just seems like you'll always see this. It's either the super young cops, it seems like, or it's the senior cops that have been doing 15 plus years that are doing these situations. And it just doesn't make any sense to me because, like, the way I'm looking at it is like right now, you know, we've got protests in all 50 states. All 50 states. There's other countries that are standing with everybody right now, you know, which is incredible. I mean, it's obvious. You know what I'm saying? Why do we have to wait for this type of shit to happen? And then now all of a sudden he's going to get in trouble. Where's the accountability is what I'm trying to figure out, man.
It's the Rodney King thing all over again.
Yeah, it definitely is. I mean, it's not that it's all over again. It's that it's just continued, man. Like, it's not like we're seeing any
But I'm
different.
talking about on a large publicized scale, because like none of us were alive for the Rodney King situation. Correct.
I think we were, but we were really young.
We were young.
We're talking
But the Rodney King
1992.
The Rodney King situation caused the same situation. Like, it's on camera. He's getting the life beaten out of him, and all these guys beat the case. Come on, bro. Come on.
And that's one thing that like really bothers me, and I think that's the biggest thing that needs to change. I mean, let's be honest, the whole entire system needs to be like literally stripped down, erased, and rewritten.
Everything,
man.
including prison reform.
Oh, 100%, dude.
Prison reform is like,
Bro, you got weed is literally legal in most states, or a few states, and there's more and more states where it's medically legal, and there's people still doing 25 plus freaking years, man.
Over marijuana.
Over like grams, dude.
Yeah.
Not even like actually
shit,
moving weight or anything. Like, they're literally in jail for life with a gram or two of weed.
I mean, that goes with that goes with the Nancy Reagan thing. Like, all right, I get that those people, like I said, I think I told you this story earlier when I was watching the Charles Crosby documentary. Like, you sit there and you watch and you're like, all right, 15-year-olds with that much money, they just shouldn't have that much money. There's 15, 16-year-olds running around with crack and shooting each other. It's crazy. I mean, honestly, yeah, it looks crazy. But you had to find some way to help these people because they're losing their families and
people are losing their lives.
Yeah,
man.
they're losing their lives. And at the end of the day, I don't think getting caught with crack is a life sentence. That's a non-violent offense. And then there's people who are murdering people who are coming home in like 5 to 10, like immediately.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, we're like sitting here watching this type of shit go on, and it just doesn't make any sense. Like, if you have half a brain, you look at anything that's going on right now, man, and you're like, how the hell is this happening? Like the whole thing with George Floyd. I mean, my man literally got caught with a fake $20 bill. Bro, I went to get groceries one time, got $100 out of the bank, out of the ATM, okay? Went to pay for it, and the lady looks at me like, this is a fake $100 bill. Like, do you have any other way to pay for these groceries? And I'm just sitting there like, yeah, I guess I'm just going to I pulled my bank card out. Mm-hmm. I didn't get the cops called on me. None of this shit.
Exactly.
And we're talking about this whole situation is allegedly. They didn't even prove, there's no proof of him actually doing anything wrong. Like, if that was me with a $20 bill, do we really think that would have happened the same exact way? I mean, that's a big problem that we have,
Negative.
man.
It wouldn't happen.
Yeah.
It wouldn't happen at all.
It just wouldn't. Like, it literally wouldn't. Like, we're looking at an insane situation.
We already know that, but tell me why you think that that's the case. Do you just think because you can't just say, oh, everybody's racist. Because I don't think that my problem is, and people argue with me about this all the time. If I've been in these situations. If I'm in the car with some people and they kind of rough and they gonna get into some type of situation, right? Say the police pulls me over for a routine check, and then my buddy in the car starts mouthing off, and the cop doesn't react. And then out of nowhere, my friend shoots at him out of my car. Worst case scenario, right? That cop, the next time he do a routine checkup, he's gonna feel a certain type of way. He's gonna be bothered, and that's why I said you need to do a better.
He's gonna be paranoid,
psychiatric evaluation, because I've been through stuff like that. I've been robbed, and to this day, I'm still in my brain like, whoa, I got robbed. I mean, obviously, I was doing something I wasn't supposed to be doing anyway to be robbed. You know what I mean? But I feel that some of them's pain because of what has happened to me.
I feel you. I mean, that's like me and you were talking about the one day, dude, is that like nobody does something for no reason. Nobody's a certain type of way for no reason whatsoever.
With every action comes a reaction.
Yeah, exactly. It's like, I mean, I like to be lighthearted about it, but like, dude, you don't go to the bathroom for no reason. I don't just walk in my bathroom to just stand in there. Like, you know, that's like as simple a way as I could put it. You know, that, you know, nothing happens for no reason, man.
I think that the people, and this is why I don't want people to just think that I'm bashing police.
No, that's not.
I don't like the way the system is being manipulated.
No. And I'm not a fan of them, you know, mainly because of my interactions with them.
Exactly.
I mean, I've had situations where I've met a cop that's not a bad dude.
Speaking of interactions, were you around the time, because me and you around the same age, were you around the time when the police used to actually police? Like, they knew your name in the neighborhood. Like they drive around.
I don't think...
And you seen the same cop, and he like, oh, Devin, what you doing here?
See, I don't think we, as prevalent, maybe.
I don't think we've ever... I don't think we've seen
really
it
had that. Because,
no.
like I said, most of the cops that I've ever met, man, they don't live nowhere near the areas where I've wound up, you know, pulled over or something like that, dude. Like, it just... You're like... Do you even know what it's like to be in this area?
Neighborhood? Yeah, because I remember I think me and you was grabbing a drink one time, and we saw the Baltimore County police officer, and we live in Harford County.
Oh no, man, it was a Baltimore City cop.
Oh shit! Yeah.
If you looked at his uniform, he was a Baltimore City cop. We're literally these days we're like out in Harford County, bro. Like we're 45 minutes.
But even if you don't live in that, even if I was telling, and you said that, and I was explaining that, even if they don't live in the area, they should kind of get to know the community that they're policing.
Oh, 100%, dude. I mean, you're literally walking around, you know, in situations where you could be judge, jury, and executioner. You know,
yeah, exactly.
And it should never be that way, mind you. I just want to, point that out. Like, we have a system of justice for a reason. Like, you are supposed to be judged by your peers. You know, like, I'm somebody that truly believes in, like, certain aspects of how this country was founded and, you know, the laws we have. And, you know, we have situations now where, like, these bad apples or whatever you want to call them, like, they pick and choose what things they want to, take out of those.
West out here, yo.
Yeah, they pick and choose what they want to do in certain situations. There's no standard, it seems like. I think that's like you were saying, man. There's no evaluations. There's no, like, accountability right when things happen. You know, it takes literally people going out in the streets and screaming at the top of their lungs. Yeah. What the hell are we doing here?
And then they added the body cameras. Man, I don't know how I feel about them the cameras, because like
it's weird, yo. Because half the time when we have these situations, they're not turned on.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. How do we know they're not being manipulated? Like, I've definitely seen police.
Any technology can be manipulated. I mean,
even to this day, I think I've been pulled over by police recently, and him not say, "Oh, you're being recorded." Yeah. I've never had a cop tell me that.
I've had a couple of those where they either come up to me and say I'm being recorded, or they don't mention it at all. And I'm like, the camera is sitting on your chest right now, but you're not recording this situation? Like it doesn't make it. Like I said, none of this stuff makes sense, man. And I think that's why we like really thought about having this episode.
I'm sorry for cutting you off.
Nah, you're good.
Should we start thinking about, after this situation dies down a little bit, I don't want this to go away, because people, like I said, this is a trend right now. I'm not saying that the people that are protesting aren't protesting for something.
I don't think the protest should ever stop.
No.
Until we really see actual stuff going on. I have 100% support for anybody that's out there doing what they're doing right now, dude, because we need that.
I think that we should sit, if we have the next generation, like, if we sit our children down and have conversations with them about how they should interact with the police first, a lot of this stuff will change. But we shouldn't have to.
No, you shouldn't have to. Like, you got people in different communities, dude. Like I said, my friends grew up and their parents told them to watch out for the cops. Do X, Y, and Z when you wind up getting pulled over, this, that, and the third. I heard similar things, but that's also because of where I grew up and who my parents are. You know, but there's plenty of people I know that literally they get pulled over and start screaming at the cops like nothing's wrong.
And let's just keep it real. Most of these incidents happen in low income areas.
Oh, definitely.
Like, it's not happening. And I was having a conversation with somebody earlier about
it's not happening in the Calabasas, bro.
No, it's not. I had a conversation with someone in the earlier, a younger kid, and I was like, yo, he was saying, well, you know, that never happens to me. And I'm like, you live in Bel Air, Maryland. Now, don't get me wrong. The cops are assholes in Bel Air, Maryland. They are. Harford County in general. I've been harassed and harassed and harassed. Mainly because I drive a beater in Bel Air, Maryland.
That shouldn't make a difference. Though. That's like what we're saying. Like, should that really make a difference whether I'm getting pulled over?
No. But I've seen them get harassed and harassed. But with I think the main people that are speaking and saying ignorant stuff, and I'm just asking y'all, please, just chill out, man. The people that are speaking are the people that don't understand these type of situations because they've never been in them.
It's like I was like yelling at somebody online the other day, and I literally said to him, there's no discussion, there's no argument. It needs to change. It needs to change. Like, period. Like, this is not a situation where there should be arguments. You should be listening to your fellow, you know, human beings. We're all human. I mean, it's not even about citizens. We're all human. There is no difference. Yeah, we have our differences, but you know what? Our differences and our cultures, that's what makes us unique. That's what's beautiful about humanity is that we are the same. We're the same species if you bring it to a scientific factor, you know? But yeah, we all have our slight differences and everything like that. But that shouldn't define how you're treated by somebody else. No. I don't think. You know, that's not how I was brought up. My parents always brought me up that you look at people as who they are. You know, it's like there's no reason to, like, there's absolutely no reason to be just looking at somebody like you look in the mirror, I feel like. And, you know, like I said, I'm a hip hop artist. You know, I'm a guest in the culture, you know, and if you're any other, you know, person like me, you know, you're a guest in the culture, and I hope you are being supportive of your friends. And I'm not trying to be out here, and like, I want it to be known that like, I'm not really trying to be out here to be an activist or anything like that. It's just me and Dev were like thinking about it, and we were talking about it for like pretty much like almost 2 weeks now. And I was like, you know, I don't want to be out here talking too much, but I feel like we like grew up in situations and had plenty of experiences that like we could actually sit here and have a discussion about it that I think people could take from.
It never stops and it just keeps happening, and then we freak out about it for a couple months and then it just disappears. The Freddie Gray situation.
Yeah, and that's like I said earlier, you know, like I don't think the protest should stop. I think, you know, the protest should continue. I mean, that's one of your basic Bill of Rights is to be able to have freedom of speech, to speak out, the right to assembly. Those things are literally the basis of our Constitution. Not all the other things that we've amended over the years, but that's the basis of it. And, you know, we have situations right now where people are getting rubber bullets to the face.
Here's the next one up, and I was just about to move on to that one. Here's the next one. If we go into martial law, we talking about a whole nother can of worms, people. A whole nother can of worms. And I don't think the president is budging with this. I think we're starting to realize who we put in office and what's happening here.
Nah, dude. This man is on Twitter. He's online literally threatening shooting American citizens. We've never had a president that has talked like this. Blatantly, too. I mean, we're talking blatantly. We're talking about a man that literally tear-gassed and flashbanged people to get them out of his way so he could have a photo shoot at a church.
Come on,
like, bro. I actually read somewhere, it was like on the news or something.
What was that Bible anyway that he was holding up? I saw the picture. It was a picture.
Dude, this is the
with
best
the Bible
part.
in his
The best part is like the archbishop and everyone that is in charge of that church basically said there was people on, like, I forget which news station it was. It was one of the major ones, which, I mean, we're not even going to get into major news stations, but like they basically asked her, does he even show up to this church? And she basically was like, nah, I've never seen him at church. So it's like, what are you doing?
He's an imbecile, but I don't even want to get too stuck.
Yeah, dude, like, I don't want to get stuck on him either because, I mean, we could have a whole episode about this man. But, like, for me, like, the things that stick out is, like I said, what American president tells people they can't protest and threatens killing them, threatens, like, sicking the fucking military
the type
on
of
them
one that don't give a
like
shit.
dogs.
The type of one that doesn't give a shit. And what we fail to realize is that we put someone in position that only cares about their self.
100%, dude.
Even the people that
They hid his ass in a bunker like Hitler.
exactly. Even the people that think that he cares about, like his supporters, like it sickens me because like his supporters don't realize they don't give a shit about you neither.
They're blind to it. You know, that's one of those things where, like, you know, we were talking about too the other day, is that, like, you know, we've got to really, really start to take more control in, like, who we vote for, research your candidates and everything, not just your presidents, because, like, we get a new president either 4 or 8 years. There's a new person sitting there smiling and waving at us or doing this crazy
And I'm
shit.
a kickstart.
And I mean, like, basically, like, the other thing is that, like, your congressmen, like, your representatives, your senators that have no term limits, mind you. You know, we're talking about people that are still in power in Congress, and Congress has a little bit more power out of the 3 branches of the government than the president does. And these people have been in power. Some of these people are literally like walking skeletons. They've been in power for so long. And it's we want change. We need to get rid of a lot of these people. But we got to do it the right way.
It's like what I think we already had an episode where I was talking about a lot of the rich and powerful people in America all have the same mentality. Like those old guys, like the Grammys and all that other stuff. Like
it's that elitist kind of mindset.
That the elite.
Oh,
you know what I mean?
100%, dude.
Even the ones, like I said, the ones where, you know, we're buying their products and whole time they don't even like us. They don't like you. You know what I mean? These people that own these Versace and all these different companies, they don't care about me, Devin, who doesn't make that much money, paying $500 for a freaking belt. They don't care. They don't care. So we need to stop. We need to start building stuff on our own and moving forward. We don't need to just protest. We need to start taking action. And I don't mean by taking action by, like I said, the trendy people who are just running in the crowds and breaking things because, they think it's cool.
Those are opportunists, man. Those people don't actually represent.
Yeah,
but we're talking about, like I said, those are just opportunists. It's not like a specific single group of people specifically, but like you said, it's more or less a lot of the trendy people. It's like those people really don't represent the people that are really out there that have a heart.
And the people like that are stupid because they're messing up the whole brand and the whole like point of the situation. Because at the end of the day, the government, these people are trying to put us in a position to where that's the only thing that's being focused on. And what we're focused on basically is like all of these people that are looting and causing these different issues in the middle of the process of us trying to get shit together is not helping. So we don't need those people. And I'm asking people politely to stop doing it, bro. Like you getting something out of CVS while people are destroying things, or you just bashing a random car is not helping the process.
Nah, and it's been cool to see like people actually like stopping those people. I seen some kid, he was about to like throw his skateboard through like some store window, and somebody literally rolled up behind him and swoop just grabbed the skateboard away from him, and the kid ran off.
Oh, for real?
Yeah, I just seen that, I think, earlier today. It was either earlier today or yesterday, and I was like, that's what you get. I hope they smack you with that skateboard, too. Shout out all my skateboarder friends, but that just like, it was just kind of like...
Yeah, shout out to the skateboarders.
Yeah, we
But
need it, though.
but we need, all right, so what do we need?
I mean, we need change on so many levels, man. Like I said, we need to really start evaluating who we put in offices. We need to, for one, we need to continue the love that I've seen, dude. Like, I mean, through every social media that I've seen, dude, I've seen so many incidents where, yeah, there's bad things happening, but I've seen more of people coming together, dude. That's like, it's great,
that's
dude.
Awesome.
I mean,
that part. I like that part.
I think that's one thing. I mean, like I said, we need police reform. We need that whole system needs to just be rewritten, basically. We need to have cops like there's this picture that's been circulating around. Everybody's been posting it of this lady cop. Literally, one of the officers was out here like literally about to just like go ham on a bunch of protesters. And she just dragged him away. She's screaming at him in front of the other cops. And there's this like, it's like starting to become a really viral picture now. And it was awesome to see that. That's what we need, like on top of anything when it comes to the police, is for them to check each other.
Most definitely.
We had like this whole situation. And I'm glad as of today, they actually charged the other three. You had 3 other guys standing around this guy. And none of y'all thought to tell him to get off dude's neck? Like,
that's crazy.
That's why, like I said,
I'm glad. The other thing is, I wanted to get on this subject, too, because I was talking to Yeti about this. All of these black people that are saying, oh, why has this person got a camera? Oh, I would have hit the person, or I would have did this. All right, some of you will. I got cousins and all of that. I know for a fact that would. But some of you are just blowing smoke out your ass. You know what I mean?
I can see that, man.
Do you agree with what I'm saying?
Yeah, you got people talking out of emotion at that point. People are talking in the moment out of emotion.
Like, come on, bro.
And I can't really like hate them or be like, man, I just I don't see it. But like you said, there's plenty of people out there that are going to do these things.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Like I said, I'm not trying to bash like the people that I know would do it. Okay, I see you. It's people that I know for a fact that would do it. But it's some people that just blowing smoke out of their ass and just saying, oh, well, yeah, I would have touched them, or I would have did this, or I would have put in work. No, you wouldn't have, bro. No, you wouldn't have. And relax. What you need to do is focus on what we can do to fix this. And that's what I'm saying. Now, I didn't want to get to this subject. And I kind of told you I wasn't going to. But I'm going to let you speak on this one. What do you think about white privilege?
The way I look at white privilege, and I'm like taking more time to think about this, just because like it's hard to really full on. I mean, yeah, I could just just straight spit something, but see, the way I look at it is, man, is that it doesn't matter how hard your life was or anything like that, because I've had kids come up to me and say that's their argument.
Oh,
that's
yeah,
one of those. That's one of those.
My life is this way.
That's one of my whole. There is no argument. Like there's plenty of situations that I've been in where the situation would not go the same way.
No,
if I was black. I mean,
wouldn't.
it just wouldn't. I mean, that's one of those situations, where I feel like white privilege does exist. Is that there's plenty of situations where things go wrong, and the outcome wouldn't be the same. It wouldn't. It never seems to happen that way.
No, because they look at us as a threat, bro. They look at us as a threat no matter what, even if you're not a threat per se. Like, you know what I mean?
And then you got other situations where on the more, not necessarily the negative side like that is that you've got plenty of situations where, there's a lot of people that just, there's more and more times where we have some equal opportunities, But there's plenty of situations that I see also where there's just not the same opportunities, man. There's just not.
No, but I told you this earlier. The reason why I try to stay away from the conversation about white privilege is not because I don't think that it exists, but because I think black people, I think that we need to create our own black privilege. And I stand firm on that. Like, I feel like we should create our own privilege, and we should create in our mind that, we can make this a different outcome. Like, all of this.
I can see that, but I also still think too that there's plenty of white people that need to just check themselves and realize that it does exist. I mean, I've had plenty of people, I see them online talking on my friends' like feeds and stuff, and it's like, dude, there's no way. Like, you are living a lie to think that it doesn't exist.
Those are the ignorant people, and they'll be irrelevant for the rest of their lives. They're only speaking because they are irrelevant.
And
you know what I mean?
But like I said, I think that it still needs to at least be acknowledged, because it's like it's one of those things, like we were saying. For years, people were saying, "Oh, the police don't do this, the police don't do that." Now all of a sudden, everything's on video, and we're seeing it. And you're gonna tell me it never happened before? I mean, that's a good way to kind of, put an analogy there, with that subject. Like you said, that's a touchy subject, but I mean, it's also where we're at right now is too with the whole thing that we were saying about what needs to change. We need to have the hard conversations too.
Yeah, that's the problem.
The hard conversations definitely need to happen.
We're starting to avoid, even me, I avoid certain conversations because I don't like how they're going to go. Like, because people just make their own, like,
opinions are like assholes, bro. Everybody's got one.
Everyone's got one.
Yeah.
So like when I'm somewhere or anywhere, whether it be on the streets or on social media, like, I feel like the only time I want to speak on something is unless I know the exact facts. Like, I know what's going on. That's why I asked about what it takes to be a police officer in these different countries. And that's why I asked about the military police. That's why I asked about are we doing evaluations on these police and really doing it, cuz especially in Baltimore, yo. Like, in Baltimore, it's wild. I don't know if y'all realize, whoever's listening to this that's not from Baltimore, Baltimore is wild. The police are crazy. I
mean, there's a reason like that. I've had it plenty of times. I know you've probably had it plenty of times. I've got friends that have had it plenty of times. You go elsewhere and then you go, "Oh, where are you from?" "Oh, I'm from Baltimore." And people look at you like you're crazy.
You're like, oh.
Like The Wire. And I'm like, I mean...
It's not just The Wire, though.
But that's usually what people always want to go to. Everybody wants to go to. I don't necessarily say that it's bad, because let's be honest, a lot of the stuff that they talk about on that...
It happens on it. Yeah, but not that way, for one.
It doesn't well, yeah, it's dramatized. I mean, we're talking about a TV show still.
Yeah, exactly. But I just don't like the way, like me, I always did. The only beef I had with The Wire, and I didn't realize until I got older, is they make us look like all of us can't read and we all ignorant.
Nah, and you're absolutely right about that, because there's mad good shit about Baltimore.
Yeah.
I mean, I love where I'm from. I have my days where I'm like, God.
Yeah, me too.
At the end of the day, like, I love where I'm from, man. I mean, we're a crazy unique city at the end of the day. For being a city that's trapped between New York, Philly, and then DC, like, we still have our own styles. We have our own vocabularies. I mean, we have our own... Yeah, it's awesome. I mean, and that's the thing, is that, like, yeah, like you said, it's still wild.
Wow.
It'd be wild out here. I mean, I got plenty of friends and family that'll, say the same thing. It's not like we're, like, out here trying to, go crazy on the mic real quick.
And when I say wild, I don't mean every police officer. But that Young Moose situation, do your research. Do your research on what happened in Baltimore with these cops, bro. Do your research. You Google it, and then you come back to me and tell me that shit ain't foul.
Yeah,
You know
I
what
mean, it's
They had a
been on the
whole police force
news.
that- yeah,
It's been on the news that we have one of the most corrupt police
ever.
yeah, ever.
They was framing people and doing all different types of crazy stuff. And for a long time, like I said, these guys, because they've been in the force for 10, 20 years or however, you know what I mean? What does it take? It take 20 years to get your pension, right? You can retire.
Something like that.
as a-
I don't know off the top of my
I
head.
think you can retire because my dad is a correctional officer. I'm not sure, but I think you can retire after 20 years.
It's probably something similar to the military. I could see something like that.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, but like we were saying earlier, though, too, is like you have those guys bringing up and riding around with the new cops. Is like we said, where's the accountability? Where's the checking going on within themselves?
These are the rules. And most of these guys don't. If you're in a situation where you can get in trouble, obviously you're gonna try to cover it up, or you're gonna try to, reverse your tracks. And honestly, I'm not gonna lie to you. What people fail to realize is some of these people, like you can tell that this is premeditated.
Oh, they're wrong in the head already.
Like
They're already wrong in the head.
George Floyd situation, that I looked at that and I'm like, this is crazy, bro. Like this dude, and then I heard, didn't he have did he know the dude or something? They said something about one of the police knew him. I don't know if this not facts or whatever, but one of the cops knew him and already had an altercation with him.
I don't know off the top of my head, man. I haven't seen anything specific on that, so I'm not going to talk on it.
Yeah.
If anybody's out there and you do know about it, definitely comment on it, because I'd be interested to hear about that. Because there's plenty of like you were saying with Young Moose.
That Young Moose situation,
Moose is my dude. You know what I'm saying? Like
yo,
I've
shout
always
out to
fucked
Moose.
with the man. You know,
I bang with Moose. I like Moose, but yo,
that dude had it out to get him.
Yeah, he tried to destroy his life. The cop. I wish I could. Dang, yo, can you Google what the name of that cop's name is? No, you can't.
I forget what his name is off the top of my head.
Somebody
but
comment in here and tell me what the name of that cop was that was harassing Young Moose. But if you Google and figure out about what was happening, basically a lot of foul, corrupt stuff was happening.
Yeah, and when he was like part of a group of them too. There was like a group of him
cops,
and a couple other when they were like the drug task
And I
force
think they
in
had something- I think
Baltimore,
they had
and they were
something to do with
literally the most corrupt people out there,
Well,
man.
I need to get more information because I want to know if they was involved with the Freddie Gray situation too. Because I think someone told me that one of them cops was involved in the Freddie Gray situation too.
That doesn't surprise me, man. I mean, that's the other thing about our town is that we're a big city, but we're also a small town at the same time.
Yeah, we are.
You know, we got you know somebody from west, you know somebody over east, you know somebody from south, you know somebody out the county, you know somebody up in York, PA. I mean, it's
I'll be traveling. I'll be everywhere. Trust me, I know a lot of people and I know different situations. But I just hope after having this conversation, and I mean, we gonna have some more information, and I'm gonna cover something else. I have something else on my brain that I'm gonna cover, in another episode or another situation. But I'm really glad to see someone like you, AJ, speak on this type of stuff, because for the longest time we've been neglecting it. It's been super neglect.
Oh, definitely, man. And I think what kind of helps is that we're in the same neighborhood, and with this whole COVID thing going on, I think we were it's easy for us to sit down in a room and have this conversation. I know plenty of people that would love to join us on this conversation too. And that's one of the reasons why, we were thinking about it and we were like, we should have this conversation.
And please comment, man. I've been getting messages from people and stuff like that telling me that they like certain stuff that I talk about. Please comment.
Yeah, man.
Please
If you know either of us, you know what I'm saying? You got anything to say, anything we didn't touch on, anything like that, Like I said, I'm not out here to be an activist, full on. You know what I'm saying? I'm here to be there.
Ignore it, being a black man in America. And because I had this conversation with someone.
And I don't want to ignore it because the way I grew up and everything like that, man, like the culture like adopted me, man. I wouldn't be who I am without hip hop, without all my black friends, my family, everything like that, where I grew up, their parents. I mean, dude, there was plenty of times like my parents were split up, dude. I learned more from Ma Dukes. And I know anybody that called her Ma Dukes know what I'm saying. Ma Dukes taught me more about being a man than sometimes my parents even did. And that's one of the things that, like, that's why I've always, Dev always called me a passionate person, man. He always be telling me I be wilding out and everything like that.
But it's not like your passion is good.
Yeah,
for someone.
But it's like, that's why I hope people take what we're talking about in the light and, they don't like go like, who the hell is this guy talking about this? Because like I said, I've been basically like dealing with enough of my own personal stuff that I won't even get into, but it's like kind of why I've been dark on social media. Like I actually deleted my socials for a while. So if you're seeing me, like all my friends I've been talking to lately, they're like, what happened to you? Like, I'm like, I just had to get away from it for a little while. And I'm glad to be back during this time because I'm the type of person that I don't care who you are. I support you. I have love for you, man. Like, that's just the type of person I am. And to be out here, even with the few people that have followed me back and gotten with me back on social media and stuff, it's nice to be around y'all and to have stuff to share. Because I have no problem sharing anything. Like I said, fact check anything I said. I'm all for the discussion, dude. Because, like we were saying, man, it needs to happen.
All right. Well, I'm gonna see you guys, and thank you if you do listen, and thank you for listening to Ramen on a Friday. And AJ, take us out.
Hey man, this your boy Dolo Moretti. I'm with Dev Deuce. This Ramen on a Friday. It's food for thought. Check it.